Alright, welcome back to Modern Warfare. Today I got a gun guide on the Oden. So, let's get right into this. The Oden is a semi-automatic or full auto marksman's rifle. High damage, high recoil, moderate fire rate, decent handling stats. Y'all probably know that I love the crap out of the FAL. This is the FAL's like stepbrother. They're side grades to each other. Not one's objectively better than the other, as far as general consensus goes. Now, I personally prefer the FAL. I think the burst fire attachment for it works better. The higher fire rate and comparable damage, I think, tilts the damage output in the FAL's favor. And I think the FAL has a better overall aesthetic, and the attachments have a better flow to them, so to speak. But do not take that away from this gun. This is a beastly rifle, and we're actually going to clear this out and show you the attachments for it. For muzzles, we have a relatively limited selection, and you're basically going to be down to, do you want recoil control or do you want suppression? This is a unique attachment for this. This is a ridiculously beefy suppressor that adds recoil control, damage range suppression, and nukes your mobility. But in a vacuum, it's an objectively very powerful muzzle attachment, and it's probably the objective best one. If you don't want to do like sniping with this gun, just throw a compensator or a muzzle brake on there, and you're good. If you don't want the suppression or the recoil control, forget the muzzle attachments, they're not worth throwing on there. Barrels. As per usual, your best bets are either the extremes. Do you want to snipe? You use the 810. If you don't want to snipe and you want to rush, use the 420. 420 blaze it. And if you want to build like a hybrid class, just forget the barrel. It's no problem, just forget the barrel. Default works very well. Laser. The only one worth using, again, for snipers is the TAC laser if you plan on doing long range work, but not super long range work because it can be tracked back to you. Optic. Now, this is one of my big problems with this gun. That guard is, the carry handle is ugly as hell. It's super, super ugly. I do not like that. And you have to deal with it and the massive side picture unless you run a sniper scope, which tanks your mobility and adds 8x zoom. Not a fan in the slightest. I find the best, in my opinion, the candid hybrid's the best option because this gun's relative versatility. If you're not running that, I've been really enjoying the monocle reflex sight because it's got a very clear housing picture, and the base reticle is just a singular dot, which is obviously a good option. So those are the obviously hollow is nice. The problem is it's just such a big like thing on top of the gun. It's so bulky. I'm not a fan of that. Stocks. The only one really worth considering is the Elite Comb, but there's better options overall, I'd say. So, you know, if you want the aim down sight speed for a rush class, throw it on. If you don't want that, you could use this for stability if you want. If you want to use like a bipod and true snipe with this thing, I guess this Bellas pack would work pretty well for you. So consider that. Underbarrel. Commando foregrip, as always, is the beefcake, mean supreme, fucking dominant attachment. It doesn't hurt your aim down sight speed, movement speed, not a big debuff, and it doesn't affect long range weapons, so good there. Use this for any class if you want to grip, if you want the objective best one. With that being said, Ranger foregrip works in this one quite well, stability and recoil control, and for long range work, it really does work. So we'll just say, consider it. Consider the Ranger foregrip. Bipod, if you want to do like a true sniper thing, if you want to go on ground war and say, build like a, I think I even have one, true sniper class for ground war. I don't actually. I'll show you how to build one of those in a second. Bipod's not bad. And finally, if you want to build a true sniper class and don't want to use the bipod, don't leave off the 12 gauge deputy. This thing only carries 4 shots, but it can drop fools up close. So, and I'll even show you, it kind of like fits aesthetically with this gun. It's kind of like, it fits in well, so keep that in mind. Ammunition, not really totally necessary because of its slow fire rate, but I mean, if you want extra ammo, always go for the 30s. The mobility isn't the biggest deal because this is a slower paced, longer range weapon. If you're going to rush, I would say you don't need the ammo more than you need the mobility, so forget the ammunition. Grips. The only one worth using are stippled grip and rubberized. Stipple's obviously the best. Aim down sight speed's hard to come by, and it gives you a lot of it. Rubberized just gives you recoil control, and if you want to use some true sniping, it's not a bad option. I would say this one's not good because if you want to sit, if you're going to be sniping with this gun, you're probably going to be using it bipoded or from a mile away, prone or just crouching. So aim walking steadiness I don't think is really worth it. So, especially when you trade aim walking steadiness for aim walking movement speed, what's the point? Now I can't move fast enough to really utilize the steadiness. So, not really sure why granulated exists. Shield's obviously the best, followed by rubberized, and then granulated. Perks. I want to say the perks in this are good, but this is the opposite of the FAL. The FAL, I want to throw everything on there. I want sleight of hand. I want FMJ. I want burst fire. I want fully loaded, because the FAL is a much more versatile weapon. It's more dominant up close. It's better versus vehicles due to the higher fire rate. It burns through ammo faster, so I want sleight of hand. It burns through ammo, so I want fully loaded. All that stuff is good. This gun is much more, it's more built for sitting back. So we're going to say the best attachments you're going to want, FMJ obviously if you plan on shooting streaks, and then presence of mind is not bad if you plan on doing sniping with it. And aside from that, not really any of these. Burst fire's objectively terrible. Objectively, it just reduces your fire rate. Set it to semi-auto and 2-tap it if you want to burst, because you can just do that, and the semi-auto in this is faster than the 2-round burst, so forget burst fire for this gun. So, we already have some classes here. We have a medium range sniper setup. We have, this one is a meme hip fire only setup. This one is a meme, I'll show you that one. That's a meme setup. And this is my, comparative, medium range, freaking, meta setup. Also my cool looking one, because look at that Colossus suppressor paired with the 420. That looks good. Does that not look sexy as all hell? It's like the redeeming quality of this gun. That right there, that picture, I love that. So, right here we're going to build a true sniper. We're going to use the 810. We're going to use the bipod. We're going to throw the Colossus on there. We're going to throw on the variable scope. We're actually going to be throwing on the elite comb for the last one. Alright, quick jump cut there. This is what we're going for right here. This is going to give us maximum range and a little bit of mobility with the comb elite. So, let us go test some of these bad boys out in custom games. While it's loading in, as per usual, if you like the content, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Let me know what you think about the Oden. Now, I think it's objectively worse than the FAL, but, my opinion doesn't mean anything. So, go crazy with that. Gonna get right in here. As usual, this is Hackney free-for-all. Got 9 bots in here. I'm gonna start with the medium range suppress loadout, which I think is the most quote-unquote meta. As you can see, you gotta aim up your chest, but it will drop kits. 2 to 3 shots. I have stop and power equipped, so you can see what it does with that, and that is a special thing. 3 shots right there. Let's switch to semi-auto. I use the semi-auto more than I use it full auto, if I'm being honest. The little extra controllability you get from semi-auto is very useful. And makes it handle more like an FAL and less like a LMG. Because when you set it to full auto, it does really feel like an LMG. It feels like the Bren from World War II. And you played that. That's more like a marksman rifle. In fact, I don't know why this isn't in the marksman rifle category. This is not in the assault rifle. Oh. Oh, nope. Alright. So yeah, that's how that one performs. Let's break out the long range one. Get on top of some rooftops. Unfortunately, there's no really big maps I can use with bots. My headphones are not on right now, so I actually don't know if someone's going to sneak up on me. Nope. Sensitivity isn't high enough. That's embarrassing. You can see, at long range, it will drop kits. Hey, I got killed by the Oden. What a surprise. Ooh. You know what, let's show you what stop power rounds do. Semi-auto, use UAV. And it basically turns it into a drug knob. I don't think it's too bad. A full auto drug knob with better mobility is not a bad option. I had like a retarded moment right there because, again, I'm recording these early in the morning. I thought I was activating my semi-auto. Instead, I just kept spamming UAVs out there. So don't hate me. I'm not very smart. But you can see it does a respectable amount of damage. It will kill people. My problem is the recoil versus the mobility is not great. I'm gonna show you why. I think the FAL is just better in a second. Full auto, yeah, obviously, you know, you have more output. It's nice. But I just sit pretty far back. I'm constantly having to aim in and out of sights because it's slow. I'm also wasting ammo because the full auto makes it easier to just spread. Alright, so let's spare the true sniper real quick, and then I'm going to show you why I think this gun doesn't hold up versus the FAL. And I do like this gun, and if you aren't good with semi-autos, and you can't spam the trigger very fast, you know, obviously use this gun over it, because, you know, it's clearly a better option. But let's throw the UAV out there. Sniper's got intel, right? I didn't mean to use that. Don't do that. Switch fire modes. There we go. Gotta vibe up this bad boy. True sniping. With a terrible sniper. The problem is everything one-shots in hardcore, and this thing fires slow as hell. So this is a pretty terrible gun for hardcore. No one is letting me shoot them right now. We're gonna army crawl here. There we go. I can one-tap, headshot, and upper chest shot. I'm getting terrible luck. You know what? Come here. We're just gonna do this. Can't really show up the sniping aspect to this thing very much. Ooh. 360. Bam. Harry happy. I had a dang 360 just for you. There we go, you two. It almost, with stop power, it almost works as a quick scoper. A very slow one. God, I'm bad at this game. There we go. So, the last one is just a fire in the class I can show you real quick, and then I'll show you while we're sitting here. I'm going to show you why the FAL is better. And the FAL is just a lot more. We're going to use no special attachments. We'll be throwing on compensator, ultralight, commando, close quarter stock, and then a sight. We'll use Canton, just so you can see. This is new mount. One, the hip fire in this is very poor because while it starts out small, it grows big and it takes a long time to shrink. Come here. So while it can be kind of like, you know, aha, my side, it's funny to spray people down outside of like 10 feet. You're not gonna hit anything, which is, you know, not good. So yeah, I mean that exists. I'm not really sure what to say about fire with you. Like, don't. I'm showing you right now, like, just so you know, this is not good. Don't do this. In the MP7 video, I was tearing people apart from that range. So yeah, let's show you what the FAL does. This is a hybrid build. It gives us better recoil per shot, better fire rate and better mobility. Just with this setup right here. And this is like my meta setup, but out DPS this gun. Handles worse. So yeah, while it may have a bigger 2-shot range, and it is slightly better as a sniper, up to close, like on everything but ground war, the FAL just kind of dominates it right now, which I don't mind. I think the Oden's got a niche, which is good. That is a suppressed sniper with no mobility. And if you want to, like, commit to that, it's definitely good. I just collateraled him. But I really don't see the point. Because this just seems better, if I'm being honest. Easier to chain kills. Easier to spray. Hipfire closes faster. I'll even show you. I'll even show you like the comparative hipfire, which I know isn't really like a big deal for this kind of gun, but I'm gonna show you just so you know. We'll drop the compensator, and then we'll even throw on larger magazines so you can really see. Hipfire closes faster and throws more slowly. So I'm really just not sure if there's any situations the way me and many COD players play, which is semi-aggressive. Like, not ultra-aggressive, but semi-aggressive. Semi-aggressive with a concentration on holding angles and not pushing dangerous spots. You know, basically smart aggression, which I think is kind of the hallmark for this game, which is to move fast, but not overextend, being very careful not to overextend. I don't really see how the Oden fits that. The Oden fits a very, very passive playstyle. And if you like camping, sitting back, and picking people with that thing, that's great, but I'm not going to be joining you on this. I like this gun. I understand the appeal for it, but this does not fit my playstyle in the slightest. And if you want to tell like the fire rate comparative to the FAL, spam the FAL as fast as you can, switch this gun to semi-auto, and see if you can get the fire cap. Like, I'm oversampling this thing. I'm firing way faster than I can, so I don't know. I'm just not a fan. But it kills people. And if you like snipers, and you like big-ass suppressors, and you like meme guns, this thing's going to... It's not going to do much. I don't know if I showed you all this, but this is the meme setup. This is the true meme lord. Sir memes a lot. Come here. Boop. Boop. 360. Everything fucking dies. Come here. Oh man, this is good. This is good. This is just too good. Come here. You're right there. Uh-oh. Yeah, so that's about it. Thanks for watching. Deuces.